Hey! You had 20 shots fired. Officers at 4:04. Suspect is unknown injury.
Hello, I'm Riverside Police Chief Larry Gonzalez, and I'm here to talk to you about a critical incident involving our officers that occurred on Sunday, February 21st, 2021 in our city. Whenever we have a critical incident, we want to share as much information as possible with our community members as soon as the investigation allows. In Riverside County, all officer-involved shootings are investigated by an outside agency, and in which this one will be led by the Riverside County District Attorney's Bureau of Investigation. You're about to see some relevant video and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to this investigation so you can have a better understanding of the facts as we know them right now. As a warning, some viewers may find portions of this video disturbing, and it is not suitable for children or those with sensitive needs. This incident began at approximately 6 p.m. that evening while two officers assigned to our Field Operations Division were patrolling the Eastside neighborhood due to gang violence and criminal activity that had recently occurred. They observed a black GMC Denali driving on Forest Street and Cottage Street and attempted to conduct a traffic stop on it for violations of the California Vehicle Code. The driver of this Denali was later identified as 27-year-old Leopold Leon Acuna Jr. of Riverside. Mr. Leon Jr. is currently on parole for assault with a firearm and has an extensive criminal history that includes drug-related offenses, assault with a firearm, shooting at an inhabited dwelling, and parole violations. In fact, during this incident, Mr. Leon Jr. was found in possession of 2 handguns and 3 high-capacity magazines. The officers attempted to stop the Denali as it pulled into the parking lot of the gas station at Forest Street and Martin Luther King Boulevard. Mr. Leon Jr. failed to yield to the police vehicle's emergency lights and sirens and proceeded to exit the gas station parking lot and travel east on Martin Luther King Boulevard at a high rate of speed. Mr. Leon Jr. continued leading officers on a pursuit, driving on the wrong side of the road as he approached Kansas Avenue. As Mr. Leon Jr. was driving through the intersection at Kansas Avenue against a red signal light, he crashed into a black Ford Explorer being driven by a 60-year-old woman who sustained a broken clavicle, fractured ribs, and bruised liver from the collision. As a reminder, body-worn video cameras are commonly worn at the chest level and capture a general perspective of the line of sight from that angle. The angles of the videos you are about to view are not necessarily full perspective of what the officer saw at the time of the incident. When the officers caught up to the collision and stopped behind the Denali, they could see that Mr. Leon Jr. was possibly trapped, along with the woman in the Explorer he struck after he ran the red light.
TC, Kansas, and MLK, paramedical aid. Hey, he's still in the car, He's still in the car. He's still going. Cover me. I got it. You are 20. 6 Henry Boy Lincoln 976 is a suspect vehicle. It looks like they're trapped inside, and we have a victim trapped inside the vehicle as well.
A few moments later, Mr. Leon Jr. put the Denali in reverse and accelerated directly at the officer who was positioned on the passenger side of the police vehicle. An officer-involved shooting then occurred with both officers firing their duty weapons at Mr. Leon Jr.
We have a victim trapped inside the vehicle as well. Hey, I'm gonna peek. Hey! Turn it off! Hey, stay right here. I got you. TC, and location for medical aid. He's still in the car, he's still in the car, he's still in the car. He's still going, he's still going. Cover me, cover me.
Hey, honey. Copy.
Hey, I'm gonna be. Hey! You had 20 shots fired. Officers are code 4. Suspect is unknown injury.
Once assisting officers arrived, they safely removed the woman from her Ford Explorer so she could be medically treated for her serious injuries. They then formed a tactical plan and safely removed Mr. Leon Jr. from his Denali.
You got both hands? Where are they?
I'm gonna give you some light. I'm gonna go hands to
All right, both hands are on the center console. Easy, slow.
Hey, make sure you put the car forward.
Both hands, got him? Got him?
Get that car turned off. Turn off the car.
Hold him medical aid.
Turn off the car. Turn off the car.
Give me my bag. Bag.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
Got a shot to the side. Go ahead, bring out the bandage. Stay on his hands, Car. Is he breathing?
I got his hand.
Where he's breathing, he's got a heartbeat, got a shot.
What do you want, dude?
Right abdomen, go ahead, inside the main
Stay
patch.
on his hands.
I got his hand.
Bandage.
Got Max.
Got extended magazine. There you go.
As he was brought out, that is when officers located 2 high-capacity magazines in his pants pockets. They also found 1 more magazine on the driver's seat and the 2 handguns on a passenger seat inside the vehicle. An officer with tactical emergency medical training began assessing Mr. Leon Jr.'s injuries until paramedics arrived. He was then taken to a local hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Mr. Leon Jr. was later booked into the Robert Presley Detention Center on the listed charges and is still being held without bail. When we have an officer-involved shooting, multiple investigations are automatically launched. Our officers do everything possible to de-escalate the various situations they encounter each day, and when any type of force is used, it is taken very seriously. Over the next several months, the Riverside County District Attorney's Bureau of Investigations, aided by our department, will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. The Riverside County District Attorney and his team will conduct a final review of the entire incident to determine if the officer's actions were compliant with current laws. Anyone with additional information related to this incident should contact any of the investigators listed here. Thank you for watching.